A very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining in today. Today, we are going to talk about how to build splash screens natively in Android. Before we go into the actual talk, let me introduce myself. My name is Mohit Sharma. I work for MongoDB as developer advocate for RHEL. If you haven't heard about RHEL, it's an mobile database which is object oriented and lets you build offline first applications very quickly. Soon, we will have our KMM version of the library available for production. So now let's go and talk about how to build splash screens using Splash Screen API, which were introduced in Android 12. If you have been in Android for a while, you will understand that splash screen is a very old topic. But what is splash screen? Splash screen is the first screen that user sees as soon as he taps on your app icon. When you Google it up, how to implement a splash screen, you will see there is a lot of history of inconsistency and there's no standard way of implementing it. Let me take you back. How do we implement traditionally a splash screen? Originally, we started with creating a splash screen activity with a timer. And we used to set this as our launcher activity so that it can behave as a splash screen activity. With the timer, it was able to highlight the brand icon or do a little of a brand promotion. But then the main problem was as soon as you tap on the app icon, you will see a white space. This should be ideally solved by a splash screen, but in our case, it was not. And then another problem which you will find that timers are not very reliable. So if your timer gets stuck, user might not be able to go to the next screen altogether. To solve these problems, Google recommended that why don't you create a splash screen background and add it to your splash screen activity and then get rid of the set content view. With this approach, definitely we were able to solve the white screen problem which we used to have earlier. But then another problem which came after this was that your product team or your branding team will say that brand promotion has been reduced a lot. So at the end of the day, to fix this, you had to add a small timer, which is like going back to first step, right? But with splash screen activity, this is all set to go. We will have a standard way of implementing it. So you don't have to bother about what to do, what not to do. All the unnecessary discussions during code implementation or code review can be avoided. No more boilerplate and definitely no timers. For Android developers, there is another one thing which is a prime concern, whether this API is backward compatible or not, so that they can use it safely across all devices and OSs. Yes, so this is backward compatible. So one more check mark for us. And it supports various use cases, be it branding or how to launch data at app support, etc., which we will see in more detail later. Let's quickly review what are the design elements of any splash screen. Any splash screen is primarily made up of four design elements. First is the icon itself. This icon should be a vector icon. It can be static or animated, depending on your use case. If you don't provide any icon in the screen, then the or app icon will be used by default. Sorry, your launcher icon would be used by default. Second is a background color which you would like to which you like to apply to your icon. Third is a foreground masked space for your adaptive icon. Fourth The last one is the background color or the window color which you would like to provide. With this window background, you should be aware that it has to be a single opaque color. Now, let us jump into the code and see how can we implement this. To get started, we again start creating a style in our theme, a style file. This style file is not a regular style file. It has few additional properties. As I mentioned you earlier, the four design elements. Okay, background color, app icon background color, app icon, and the last one you'll see the branding image, which I haven't talked about earlier, but I'll be mentioning this later on. Now, once this style sheet is created, we place this style sheet into values v31 folder. Values v31, right? This is not backward compatible for sure. And I'll agree to that. Yes, this is not backward compatible. But going forward, I'll tell you how to make it backward compatible. For now, we just do it like this. Once the background is set, let's go to the next step. There is no next step. That's all is required to set up a splash screen. Fairly simple, right? But is it so simple that whether it's able to handle all our use cases or not? Let's try to see that a little bit in a more detail. In the introduction, one of the requirement was that am I able to hold off my splash screen so that I can do enough of my brand promotion? Yes, there is a specific way of doing that. You can add a on pre-drawer listener on the view, which can help you notify that how long your splash screen has to be holded off. So you can use this uh, listener either to promote your brand, or you can use it to show the splash screen till the point of time you need to download some basic information which is mandatory for your app to work. So it's win-win for both product and developers. So this is one of the example where I have placed an infinite loading app icon. As you can see, it can animate and it will be there infinitely because I have programmed it in that manner. Another use case which I have noticed while implementing splash screens in my previous applications was that there is there was sometimes a need of adding an exit animation. With splash screen as well, you can do it very easily. You have a specific listener for that as well. You have a on exit animation listener wherein you can add whatever type of animations you would like to set or whatever manipulations you would like to do with your splash screen while user is exiting the splash screen altogether. Now let's see how do we make it backward compatible. As I mentioned you earlier, splash screens are backward compatible, but not all the features are backward compatible. Don't worry, most of your requirements are backward compatible. The only thing which is not backward compatible is the brand promotion image, which you can notice here as MongoDB. So only this brand promotion image is not backward compatible as of now. So to make it backward compatible, let's see what all is required. To get started, we need to add the splash screen dependency to our Gradle file. Once we are done with the dependency, we need to create another style sheet, okay, but this one in a regular folder. This style sheet is a little bit special in nature. Notice the things which I have highlighted in green. The parent of this style sheet should be splash screen, and you need to provide another theme, the post splash screens theme, which will tell the application what has to be done or what theme has to be applied once the splash screen has been closed. So we are done with adding the new style. Now let's see what else is required. You have to go with one more step here. The one more step is we need to create we need to we need to add a special function, or we need to call a special function install splash screen. This has to be done just right after on create, so that the splash screen becomes backward compatible. Once this is done, your splash screen is backward compatible. Nothing else is required on this scope, right? So simple. Nothing else has to be nothing else has to be done. So what would we understand? Making splash screen with splash screen API is very simple. It is it doesn't have any boilerplate code. The implementation is very simple, and in my opinion, you don't need a splash screen activity altogether. You can move, you can remove all that. You can delete your existing splash screen activity, and you can get rid. You can replace it with splash screen API altogether. It is consistent across all OSs and devices. You get a built-in branding support as well. So win-win for all, right? Now let's see what are few of the limitations while you're trying to use splash screen. In my opinion, I have noticed only very few limitations with splash screen. The first one I would like to highlight here is that you have to use only single background color. So in this case, as you notice that the realm icon is so vibrant, it has so many colors. I cannot use a gradient or any mixture of colors. So at the end of the day, I have to fall back to the white color. The APIs are still in alpha version. I wouldn't say that this is kind of a con, but sometimes when you're trying to build trying to use APIs which are production ready, I would like to highlight that. Another thing which I mentioned you earlier, that the branding image is not backward compatible. So the MongoDB which is written, that won't be coming in the uh, older OSs. And the last which I have noticed is that it is not possible with the splash screen API to animate the complete screen altogether. It has to go within the guideline or the frame which has been provided by the Android. That is all which I have noticed till now. Based on my reviews or the blogs on splash screen, some people have also told me that they found some difficulties while implementing the night mode with the splash screen as well. So I'm not fully aware of that, but this is something which came up at least in my reading. I hope you enjoyed my talk. I'll be happy to take any questions if you have. In case uh, you don't get an opportunity or I'm not available during the talk, you can always reach out to me at Code with Mohit on Twitter, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Have a great day.